What is an integrated management system? An integrated management system is a management system that integrates all or part of an organization's system and processes into one complete framework, enabling an organization to work as a single unit with unified objectives. We are saying that an integrated management system is a management system that brings together all the system the organization wants to integrate or part of an organization's system and processes into one complete framework, which enables the organization to work as a single unit with unified objectives. I will explain this as we go on. Integrated management system is relevant to any organization. It doesn't matter the size, the sector, whether you are producing granite, you are producing gari, you are producing palm oil, or you are producing crude oil. It is important and it is good for any organization to have it. No matter your size. Here, you can integrate 2 or more management systems. You could integrate 5, you can integrate 6, you can integrate 7, as it relates to your organization and what you do. Typically, organizations most receptive to products will be those who have a management system. Organizations that customers will be most receptive to their products is that organization that has a management system in place and who wishes to introduce others' management system to. Okay, sorry, I'm actually saying that an organization that wishes to integrate a management system is that organization who has one management system already or wants to have more added to what he or she already has. These systems that are in place, anyone who already has a system and wish to add to it can add to it. Like I rightly said about one of my clients close around Anthony, just a few weeks ago, they got their certification to integrate the management system. They had 9001 already. So it was due for surveillance, first surveillance, where when they said, no, we would love to integrate 14,000, 45,000, and 9,000. I will further explain this as we go on. An integrated management system includes integrated processes, where your processes are now integrated, not standing alone, not you have a process, you have processes in 9001, you have processes in 45,001, you have processes in 40,001, and they are all scattered everywhere. We are saying for example, you can't have internal audit process, or you shouldn't have internal audit process for 9001 separately, 14,001 separately, 45,001 separately. That will be cumbersome. That will be a waste of resources. That will be a waste of time. That will be a waste of man hour. So, for example, again, non-conformity process. Why have 3 different types of non-conformity process when you have 9001, 14,001, and 45,001? The integrated management system helps you to integrate all your processes. You don't say, I have integrated management system, I have a asset investigation process for 14,001 separate. from that of 45,001. We are saying that the integrated management system helps you to integrate your processes, to integrate your risk, not that you now have separate risk assessment risk for 9,001 separate, 40,001 separate, you have for 45,000 separate. He said you will integrate your risk. You will integrate even your audit. So just imagine you have, let's say in operational safety and health, which has more processes. You have like 32 processes for 45,001. You have 20 for 9,001. You have let's say 10 for 14,001. Put all of them together, you have over 50 processes, or close to 50 processes. No, over 50 processes, about 60 something processes. So imagine you auditing 60 something processes in 1 year. So we are saying that integrated management system helps you to integrate your audit process. Where, for example, you want to carry out audit of your emergency process. Instead of carrying out a separate emergency process audit for environment, then another time you carry out another one for 45,001, operational safety and health. You will be wasting time, energy, resources, and a whole lot. So we are saying that an integrated management system includes integrated processes, integrated risk, and integrated audits, and many others. So let's move to the next slide. What is the aim of an integrated management system? What is the aim of an integrated management system? An ISO management system shares the same high-level structure. Today, ISO has made it in such a way that all the management systems, ISO has over 100,000 standards. So today, over 100,000 standards. But of all these standards, we have the ones that are management system standards. So we are saying that because of the high-level structure that ISO has brought in, today you can integrate the management systems. It simplifies the overall approach to consolidating the requirements and helps to create a robust set of integrated management system, be it manual, be it procedures, be it formats, your forms. It helps you to put together a robust set of integrated management system. How? The high-level structure has restructured the system, so the standard, such that you now have same structure for all the clauses of all the standards, be it 9,000, be it 14,000, be it 27,000, be it 45,000, be it 5,001. They now use a high-level structure. This structure says that you have from clause 1 to clause 10. Yes, we know that from clause 4 is auditable clauses, but the structure remains the same. So it's only the sub-clauses that you now find differences, which you will have to harmonize. But it does not stop you from integrating your system. So integrated management system adopts the key concepts, principles, and structure as put together by the high-level structure. So the aim of integrated management system is to use the high-level structure to simplify the overall approach to consolidating the requirements of these different standards into one management system, where instead of having separate management systems, you now have it as one system but operating different systems. So let's look at what can be integrated. What can be integrated? What can be integrated? As you can see from this image, you can integrate as many as you deem fit to integrate. Like I have said here, sorry, there was a mix-up in this. I don't know how my comma, my equal to moved. So, like I've actually said here, integrated management system is QMS, EMS, SMS, CMS, name all of them, coming together to be equal to integrated management system. I'll correct this error. So what I put together here is that when you plus all of them, it will be equal to integrated management system. So that's to say environmental management system, quality management system, safety management system, compliance management system, information security management system, food safety, energy management system. As it relates to what you do, you can integrate it as an organization. So what can you integrate? We have looked at them. So let's look at this. Integrated processes, like I said earlier. We have discovered that management systems are considered integrated when between 70 and 95% of the processes can be integrated. That is, the procedures can be integrated. And at least 30% of the instructions can be integrated. So a management system is considered integrated when about 70% to 85 to 95% of the integration for the procedures can be achieved, and at least 30% of the work instructions can be integrated. Which is to say, you, like I said, you had 60-something procedures when you used to operate the different systems. You can collapse these procedures, these processes together such that 70% at least of all of them can be integrated into one process per relevant ones. For example, what do I mean? In internal audit, you integrate the 3, 4, 5 management systems you have into one internal audit. You integrate continuous improvement. You integrate management review. Instead of having 3, 4 separate management review per standard, you integrate them as one. So we are saying that if you are able to put them together, you should have at least 70% to between 70 and 90%, 95% integration of your procedures, and at least 30% for your instructions. For a process or a work instruction to be fully integrated, it should be managed by one process owner. So imagine you have 3 different process owners for internal audit. So we are saying that for a process to work, or for a work instruction to work, it has to be fully integrated, and it should be managed by one process owner. All processes do not have to be integrated. Please take note. The organization has to determine what they want to integrate. So don't go and force what should not be integrated to be integrated at all costs. Depending on the peculiarity of what you do, how your organization system works, the possibility of integrating, that is when you should integrate. So all processes do not have to be integrated. So you should determine the need for integration. The organization should determine the need for integration. So an IMS is an aggregate of several management systems, like we have said. These systems, they often overlap each other. So an IMS explores this interconnectedness to create a central management framework for organizational efficiency. So when you are able to properly integrate, it will help the efficiency of your organization. So let's look at the uniqueness of integrated management system. What makes an integrated management system unique? One, I said it streamlines all processes, standards, and systems. An integrated management system will help an organization to streamline all their processes, all the standards, and the systems that the organization has. I have tried to explain this over and over. Where you have separate systems for different standards, it will help you to streamline them. It will help you to bring together the standards. It will help you to have one system that operates different standards. So the next, why is the integrated management system unique? It is unique because it ensures each process alignment with all the overall organizational goal. It ensures that each process aligns with the overall goal of the organization. It ensures that the organization, every goal that has been set, is aligning with the organizational goal, such that each process is not working against the goal of the organization. It helps us to be able to align all processes to the organization's overall goal. Let's look at the next, which is one of the key things that most organizations will smile over. You know, we like when we are talking money, which is one of the things I keep telling all of us, the professionals. One of the reasons why we are not really respected in many organizations, in our companies, is simply because, I'm sorry to digress a little, is because we don't speak money. We hardly speak money, which is what most management want to hear. The year is coming to an end now. How many of us have started putting together all you have achieved in this year in monetary value? For example, how many accidents you saved? How many equipment damages that you prevented? How many near misses that could have cost something else, but because of what was put in place, because of the trainings we had this year, what did it prevent? What value monetarily? What would have been the cost of this accident? Look at history. How much do you guys need to spend in the hospital? When you look at the monetary value that you have provided for to your organization, in your end of year review, don't just bring your HSC statistics and just say this, we had 10 near miss, we had 1 accident, we had this, we had that. Try to talk monetary value, how you have reduced costs, how you have helped the company to prevent litigation. Put value, put costs. As you are ending this year, ensure you speak money. Research your company very well. Look at the monetary values that you have provided this year. How many workers could have died? What could have been the cost of this accident? The cost of litigation, the cost of fines from government. Put them together in monetary value. You will see what you have done for your company. So, like I said, one of the uniqueness of integrated management system is that it lowers certification costs by reducing the duplication of effort. By reducing the duplication of effort. Sorry, I made a little error there. By reducing the duplication of effort. For example, like I've said over and over, you have somebody in charge of the same thing that you have in the different standards, different persons. Oh, you have to get 3 different consultants to help you in putting together the different management systems. I had that with one client. I was actually surprised. I don't understand. By the time I checked, they had 9001 from a different certification body, from a different consultant. They had 14001, different certification body, different consultant. Then I did for them environmental management system. I was really wondering. I had to advise the organization. You can actually collapse these 3 systems into one, which they are buying, such that before their next surveillance audits, they can collapse all of them into one. So it will lower certification cost. Imagine where you are paying 2 million naira. Let me even say 1 million naira per certification. Times 3, times 4. If you make them integrated, one audit will be used to achieve all of them. Instead of paying auditors that will come for the different auditors that will come for the certification for the different standards, you will be able to use one stone to kill 3, 4, 2, 5 birds. This is one thing that many organizations that have embraced the agreement system are benefiting from. In surveillance audits, the same thing. Instead of paying for surveillance audit for 3, 4, 5 different standards, one audit, one payment takes care of all of this. In most cases, it will lower it almost half or even less than half of the cost of the 3, 4, 5 standards. So it is very important that you sell this to your organization, and I tell you, they will not resist it if you're able to show them the monetary value. So the next uniqueness of integrated management system is that it unifies the workflow. It unifies the workflow. It provides a clear, unified view across the organization. You won't have to take a pause and say, let me go and attend to this one, again, come back. Then the next. No, as you are planning the workflow, because you have an integrated system, it will just flow. It will unify the flow. This means that your organization can meet all standard requirements with the same policies, with the same procedures, which will increase the ease of use of these systems. You don't have to say, okay, we will do risk assessment for environment separately because we have 14,001. We'll do risk assessment for 9,001 separately. No. As you sit for risk assessment, you cover all of them at once. By creating this central operating system, your organization can gain competitive advantage through improved performance and consistency of operational and management processes. It will reduce time wastage in duplicating efforts. So it is unique in that it unifies the workflow. It is unique because it helps transparency. It helps for transparency and control. It helps an organization to be transparent and ensures control. And IMS provides increased visibility of all standards and compliance requirements. It will help all of the standards to be visible at the same time. Because I have discovered that in most cases, you can take some time to look at it for those who have separate standards. One of the standards will always dominate in any organization that operates the single management system for as many systems as they operate. But if you operate an integrated management system, it will provide increased visibility for all of the standards. Environment will not be hidden. So each activity has administrative controls and personal responsibility for staff. Companies can perform all compliance-related activities at once. For example, for a company that has different regulatory requirements to be met, it will help you to be able to simultaneously comply to all the requirements. As you monitor your legal requirements, having all of them in an integrated system, it will help you to simultaneously meet all your requirements and comply to all related compliance needs. With multiple management systems, organizations suffer from hierarchies and duplication of tasks. This one we say, QMS is the head. Or this one we say, no, it's Occupational Safety and Health. Say, oh no, this is the time for no. But if you have an integrated management system, it will help your organization to be able to determine how systems operate. Systems, one will not overshadow the other. Integrated management system leads to clearly defined roles, transparent workflow that everybody can see and follow. It helps in resource sharing between cross-functional teams. It helps to share resources between cross-functional teams. Okay, let me quickly answer this person's question. He said, when it collapses, does it come with 3 certificates or only 1 certificate? Somebody asked a question. When it is collapsed, does it come with 3 certificates or only 1 certificate? It can come with 3 certificates, it can come with 1 certificate. It is depending on the organization and the certification body. So if the certification body is going to give you 3 different certificates with 1 system, yes, majority, all of my clients that are having integrated management system, that's what most of them choose to go for. 1 system giving them 3, 4, 2 different certificates. But for somebody like me, I talk less on the certificate. The certificate is, for me, is not the most important. Just only that, I don't know, in this part, we seem to hold on to the certificate the most. Implementing the system, documenting the system, establishing the system, and implementing the system is most important to ISO. Certification is secondary, as far as I'm concerned. So we should all first pursue implementation. Certification is just for a third party to come and check if what you have done, you've done it rightly. But the most important thing is to benefit from the objective of the standards. If you can see me, I don't want to put on my video. If you can see me, you will see the passion with which I am saying this. Why? Because I have discovered, and many of you can bear me witness, that majority of the organizations are just after the certificate. Yesterday, I was talking to somebody in my church, where the program, a couples program, and he's been trying to get ISO certification, and I told him what he needs. Hey, I beg, we've been working over the years. The ISO, nothing. I beg, forget. We don't need ISO. Just give us the certificate. And I told him, I can't give you such a certificate. Look for somebody else. This man went to all those. I'm sorry, some of those Indian guys. They gave him a certificate, and he took it to local content, and they said it was fake. So he started afresh again. And yesterday I was talking to him. I said, I've told you, this is what you need to do. He still repeated the thing that, no, all I just want is a certificate. I said, okay, I can't help you. Because the purpose why regulators are even asking you for it is so that you will be a company that will be able to stand the test of time, such that you will be able to deliver best of service and product to customers. For example, why is local content insisting that you should have ISO? We have said in this country, we want the local companies to begin to take over some of these things that the foreigners are doing here in the oil and gas industry. And I can tell you the truth. Since this ISO started, for those who have properly implemented it, they are doing excellently well. They have taken over many of the international servicing company jobs. I can tell you, that's the truth. For those who properly implement it, they have taken over the jobs of some of these companies. Why? Because they properly implemented it and they got the benefit for it. And I have told, so I'm begging all of us, professionals who are here today, do your best to ensure that your management, your clients implement it. Thank you very much. So let's move to the next one. One of the uniqueness of integrated management system is that it is efficient in the use of resources. It helps you to efficiently use resources instead of wastages, duplications, where similar tasks and processes match, they are brought together. What does it help? What does it do for you? It helps you to, just imagine, you carry out internal audit of QMS separately, carry out internal audit of environmental separately, carry out internal audit of occupational safety and health separately, carry out internal audit of information technologies separately. Just imagine the resources you are wasting. Paper, energy, time, resources in different folds that you are wasting. But when you integrate the management system, it helps the efficient use of resources. You will not have too many papers. You will not have too many manpower wastage. Repeating the same thing that you could have done with one audit. So it helps in the efficient use of resources. For example, integrated management system allows companies to review all standards using a single framework rather than reviewing each standard individually. It saves you time, money, energy. It even increases the employee satisfaction. Documentation, training, these efforts are now put together in one system instead of separate systems. Next. It helps the organization to meet legal requirements and keep up to date with legal regulations. Oh, I don't want to call the company's name, so I don't like I'm doing an advert for them. When I was NICM president, I visited one beverage company in Lagos on a working visit. This company has so implemented their system such that regulators don't come to regulate them the way they regulate others. They've reached that point where the regulators only just come to look at documents and walk away. They now self-regulate themselves because they were able to integrate all their systems and ensure effective implementation. So, integrated management system is unique in that it helps the organization to meet legal requirements and keep up to date with legal regulations. I had a client who one certain day I went to their office. By the time I got to their office gate, I couldn't enter. Why? One of the inland waterways regulator had blocked their gate with their vehicle. Just imagine that your client is coming that morning to come and give you a job, a contract. And unfortunately, they are unable to come in because you forgot that there was a legal requirement you have not met. So it will help your organization to meet legal requirements and keep up to date with legal regulations. Next, it improves your organization's performance. It will improve the organization's performance. It will improve the way the organization performs. Because as you put systems in place, as you put all your systems into one system, it will help you to perform better. It will reduce duplication of effort. It will reduce a whole lot of stress. So it is unique in that it improves organization's performance. You will see the performance going from low to high, just as you can see in this image, if you properly implement the integrated management system. Your organization will improve their performance. In the same vein, it will reduce interruptions. There will be fewer interruptions to your organization. It will help the organization to reduce interruptions. When you have integrated your system, you won't say, we want to go for a certain job. Let me use the oil and gas industry, for example. We want to go for a certain job, and we have been asked to put together all our documentation and everything. Or we say, it's time. Operation says we have a job, or we are going to so flow station. HSC will now come out and say, you people, hold on, we've not done JHA. Hold on, we've not done environmental risk assessment. Hold on, we've not done hazard identification. Hold on, we've not done this. Because you have separate standards, they will be asking for what they could have asked for at once, what could have been taken care of at once. There will not be interruptions because this one will come and say, hey, let's do this first. Let's do this first. And many other interruptions that would have happened. When you integrate your system, it will reduce interruptions to the lowest possible. Next. Another uniqueness of the integrated management system is that it helps to achieve strategic business aim by incorporating integrated issues into business management. You know, one of the beauty of the management systems from 2015 is that part where 4.1 and 4.2 talks about, 4.1 talks about internal and external issues. I love that part so much because it's any organization that knows what can go wrong, except the organization is foolish, you will not prevent it. It will help you to integrate every issue, the issues from environment, the issues from occupational and health, the issues from information technology, depending on the standards you have decided to integrate. It will help you to achieve a strategic business aim when you incorporate integrated issues into your business management. So the issue from information technology will not hinder your business. The issue from environment will not hinder your business. Why? Because you have taken time to look at all of this issue proactively. You have looked at what could go wrong from this angle, from this angle, from this angle. Then you put all together into one single system. So it will help your organization to be able to achieve your strategic business aim when you incorporate all the issues into your business management. Facilitates decision making. It helps in decision making. It helps in decision making. It helps in decision making, where the organization is able to make its decisions according to the standards, based on evidence, based on facts, instead of getting confused with making multiple decisions. It will help the organization to make fast and quick decisions. Why? Because the system has been integrated. They don't have to start thinking of how to handle the same issue under a different standard, handle the same issue under a different standard. But it will help them, it will help the organization to be able to make faster decisions and better decisions because your system has been integrated. So let's go to the next one. The cost of maintaining different management systems. I think I've talked about this before. The cost of maintaining different management systems, it will help the organization to reduce the cost of maintaining different standards, different management systems. So imagine you employing somebody to man 9001, 4001, 40,001. Imagine the organization having multiple documentation. Imagine getting consultants, like I told you of that client that I consulted for middle of this year to get environment. I was really shocked. How can you be spending so much money on 3 different standards when you could have just integrated all of them into one system? It will save you over less than half of what you would have spent on the 3 different standards. So it will reduce the cost of maintaining different management systems. It will help the organization to learn better. It will help the organization to learn better. Yes, organizational knowledge is in 9001. But I tell you the truth, organizations that are able to learn from their systems will always be on top of their game. You have incidents, you learn from them. You had successes, you learn from them. This learning from incident, this learning from your system, from what you have been able to achieve over the years, the failures and the successes, the innovations, the thing that one staff was able to put together when we had a challenge. If you are able to properly organize your learning, it will better your organization. Because if you have the same challenge 10 years from today, it's just to go back to, hey, when Mr. Chooks was here as the operations manager, we had this challenge. What did he do? Oh yeah, go to that document where we have saved this learning from the organization's business. Oh, go and check this folder. Go and check this. You will see what he did. With ease, the new person will just know what to do, and it will be taken care of. So it will help the organization to be able to learn better. So let's go to the next one. Consistent objective. It will help the organization to be able to have consistent objectives. I don't know why this area is always a challenge. In my years of auditing, this is when you come to objectives, I don't know why we're always having a challenge. So there's an audit that just happened some days ago of an integrated management system. This thing we're talking about now happened whereby the organization just had objectives around 9001 only. Consistent objectives across multiple standards. Well, for example, you will not go and say for environment, you have different objectives. For quality, you have different objectives. For that and you have different objectives. When some of them can be put together as a single objective. The objectives that you will set will be consistent across board. Not that the person in charge of quality will say, no, this is how it should be. Oh, it's like this. The one of environment will say, no, this is how. You will have consistent objectives that is smart and able to move the organization to a set goals. So the next uniqueness of the integrated management system is that it eliminates conflicting responsibility and relationship. It eliminates conflicting responsibilities and relationships. Where there should be conflicts in roles and responsibilities, when you integrate your management system, it will eliminate these conflicts. Where, for example, the man in charge of quality will say, no, it has to be like this. I am the one in charge. That one will say, no. The environment will say, no, I'm the one in charge. This one will say, no, it is my responsibility. Or there will be conflicts. Relationship will begin to have challenges. But if you are able to integrate your management system, it will eliminate conflicting responsibilities and relationship. How? For example, if you have somebody in charge of internal audit for 9001, you have another person in charge of internal audit for 14001, another person in charge of audit for 4001. This one may set his own and say, I have set my audit. My audit is this day. This one will say, I have set my own first. You will now see challenges. You will now see conflicts of who will take the date first, who will do this, and who will do. But when you have an integrated management system, the audit will be planned at the same time. All auditors are assigned where they should go to with no conflicts. This one will say, no, I'm the one in charge of this. No, I'm the one in charge. No. So when you are able to integrate your management system into one system, it will eliminate conflicting responsibilities and responsibilities. There are so many things that I can reel out as a uniqueness of the integrated management system. There are so many numerous benefits. But for want of time, so that I can touch other things, I will move to the next things I have on my slide, which is rationale for integration. What is the rationale for integration? The goal of any standard is to reduce and control process variation resulting in one, product non-conformity and waste. We want to reduce non-conformity in our product and in our services and wastages. We want to reduce injuries, illnesses, and deaths. We don't want to impact the environment or contaminate the environment. So system approaches to management system improvement and controls are the same. We want to ensure that the system approaches to management to improvement and to control of the whole system are the same. Not that you now have a different emergency plan for environment, have a different emergency plan for occupational safety and health. You integrate all of them into one emergency response plan that takes care of both environment and occupational safety and health. So this is some of the rationale why you have to integrate. So let's look at the high-level structure we talked about. This is the high-level structure as has been put together by ISO. You know, I talked about the fact that this is why it is easy to integrate the management system. This is why it is easy to integrate the management system. Because if you open 9001, you will see the same thing. The same thing is what you will see. You will see the scope of the management system. You will see normative reference. You will see terms and definition. Then you will see from 4 to 10, which is the auditable clauses. Yes, inside you will find some differences as I will show you as we go on. So this is why it is easy to integrate the management system, because of this high-level structure that the management system now has, which is from clause 1 to clause 10. The same nomenclature you will find, the same clauses you will find in any management system. So having this is like saying we all have the same surname. So it's easy for us to say we are family than you say this one has a different surname, this one has a different surname. This one, when we have same surname, that's what it looks like. We are able to be called the children of same family. So that's what this management system is. This high-level structure has done for us. It has helped us to be able to integrate the system. So now let's look at with the example of integration of 9001, for 2001 and for 2001. Let's look at what an IMS requirement looks like when it is integrated. Now you can see from what is showing on your screen that to my left you have a light blue. Then in the middle you have maybe something light peach. I don't know. You have top the green, lemon green, and lilac down to my right. To my left, you have ISO 9001:2015 requirement. What does this simply say? That in the integration of these three management systems, from 6.3 of 9001, 7.1.2, and the rest of it, they are requirements you will find only in 9001. For example, you can't find design and development in any other standard except in 9001. You can't find 8.2 requirement for product and services in 2001 for 2001. No. So in your system, these ones will definitely be standalone. You will not be able to integrate these ones. To my right, top to my right, those are requirements for only environment. So in your management system, in your integrated management system, this will relate only to environment. So in the same vein, the box down is talking about only occupational safety and health for 2001. That's where you will find consultation and participation of workers. With some of us, we will say, yes, one of our evidence for this is monthly safety meeting. You can't find this in 9001, or neither will you find it in 14001. You will only find it in 45,001. Now let's come to the middle. In the middle, what you have is the requirements that is similar to the 3 standards. Requirements that is similar that you can integrate. For example, we talked about the context of the organization. You can integrate the context of the organization. You can integrate the needs and expectation of interested parties. For example, no worker.
When I get car wash, yeah?
No, we don't get car wash. Who be that?
I've muted him.
Okay. So please. So like I was saying, the context, for example, the issues, international issues. You can't have a different organizational context for environment, different organizational context for 9001. You integrate all of them. You can put together your one scope that covers the 3 standards. You state it in your scope that this scope covers the 3 standards. Your management system processes, you integrate all of them, as we have seen, all these ones in the middle. You integrate them. Then the other ones to the left and to the right, you put them where they belong in the system. For example, if you are putting together your though the standard today does not require you to have a manual. I'm sure we know that the standard does not require you to have a manual today. None of the standards require you to have a manual. The older versions, like for example, 9001, 2008, required you to have a manual. For 18,001, 14,001 required you to have a manual. In those days, you are just asked to have like six procedures only. But today, nobody tells you what you should have or what you should not have. But the standard has already said the things you need to do. So as it relates to your organization, you put together what you need to have. So now, we are saying that you can integrate all that is in this middle box, which is general standard requirement for all the 3 management systems that we're looking at today, which is for leadership. There must be leadership and commitment, which cuts across all of the standards. Policy, you can integrate the environment, the quality, and the occupational safety and health as one policy instead of having 3 separate policies. Organizational roles, responsibility, and authority. Why duplicate them when you can integrate them? Planning. All of the standards require that you should have actions to address risk and opportunity. You should have determined the risk and put together actions to control them. Then you should be able to find opportunities where you should find opportunities and ensure that you use the opportunity rightly. Objectives. You are expected to have objectives across all the management systems. So having separate objectives will not do you well. It's going to make things cumbersome. But if you are able to put together your system as one, you will have an integrated objectives. that speaks to all of the standards. Support every of the all of the three standards require that you should have resources, that you should have competent personnel. Your workers should be competent, that there should be awareness. Now, just imagine you have three different standards. You see why it is paining me a whole lot for that client of mine. That client of mine that I gave in helped out with the environment some days ago, which means that they will call at this point. They will say, "Oh yeah, we have integrated management. We have awareness for 9001. All staff will come together, leave everything they are doing, sit down and have training for 9001. Oh, after 2 months again, they will call again. Come, we have awareness for 9001. Oh, we have awareness for another 4 months. Come again." They are wasting money. They are wasting time. They are wasting resources. They are wasting a whole lot. Same thing with communication. What do we communicate? How do we communicate? With whom should we communicate? All of the standard requires that we should communicate and plan for our communication. Documented information. So, as you can see, operational planning applies to all of the standards. So plan your operations and be able to control them so as to deliver best of service without any issue to the environment, without accident or injuries to workers, without polluting the environment, and delivering to your client best of product or service. So you can integrate your performance evaluation, your monitoring, your evaluation, your analysis, and your evaluation. Monitoring, measurement, analysis, and evaluation, you can integrate them. Your internal audits, no need to waste time here because I've always used it as an example. Management review, imagine. I know some companies that do management review every quarter. So that means every quarter in a year, you will do nine management reviews. Why? So when you integrate your system, you will have one management review that covers all the standards that. What do you need to do? Put together all the requirements, and most of the requirements of the management review are almost the same, except for a few. You put together all the requirements for management review, and then you carry out the management review at once. You review that relates to the general, that relates to separate standards, all in one meeting. Instead of calling for a separate meeting for 9001, for 5001, 40,001, and the likes. Then improvement. There should not be a separate non-conformity process for the different standards. Non-conformity is non-conformity anywhere, anytime, any day. So have same system. Continual improvement. We must improve all of the standards. So what have I been able to do today using these three standards is to tell you that there is the general requirement of the standards and there is a specific requirement per standard. Despite the fact that you have specific requirements, the general requirement is more. So based on the high-level structure, you can integrate your system. Let's say, for example, you are putting together a manual for integrated management system. What do I do? If I get to the point, let's say I'm at 7 point something, I will pick the 7 point something that is not in the general. like the one in 9001, for example, people, infrastructure, I will pick it and put it under 7.1. After 7.1, I will arrange them where they should be based on the numbering of the clauses. So you can actually integrate your management system despite the fact that there are different requirements. So these are some of the uniqueness of the integrated management system. So should you want to start? Should you want to start to integrate your management system? What should you be aware of? Know that integration has some situations that will determine what you integrate and how you integrate. For example, we have no management system in place. What do you need to do? Start from scratch. Start from scratch. We already have a management system in place, and we want to integrate a new management system, just like one of my clients did some months ago. They had 9001. It was due for surveillance, and it was almost due for surveillance. And no, what Mr. Cletus has told us, I think it is good for us. And can I shock you? Just day before yesterday, the MD of the company started sending me pictures, a lot of pictures of what? The award they got from SPDC because of the implementation of their management system. Lastly, we have 2 or more management systems, and we want to integrate all together. We want to bring them together. We want to integrate all. These are some things that will determine how you start. So if you have 14,001 and 9,001, you can integrate them. If you have 14,001 and 14,001, beautiful, because that's even what makes up HSC. You integrate them. If you have 27,001, 22,000, as it relates to what you do, you can integrate them. You can integrate as much as 7 standards. It's as it relates to what you do. So for a company who has a need for all of this, integrate all of them. So if you have one already, you can add more. If you don't have at all, you can integrate all at once. That makes it even easy for you. But before you start the implementation project, it is important that you identify the common areas within each management system, which I have already taught us. Identify the common areas within the system before you start. So let's look at a quick integration process. Gap analysis. You need to first of all know, where are we? What do we have? Based on the requirement of all the standards that we want to integrate, where are we? Do we have processes in place for documented information? Do we have process in place for this, for that, for that? Do we have forms? Do we have work instructions? Which ones don't we have? That's why I always tell my clients, we need to do a gap analysis first, except you insist that you want everything afresh. Let's carry the gap analysis. We don't have this, we have this, we have that. Most times when you check what they have, it may not be meeting the requirements of the standard. Sometimes they have something excellent that you don't need to add to or touch. So that's why it is very important that you do a gap analysis to know where we are. What do we have on ground? Where are we already doing well? Where do we need improvement? Then you put together a work plan, a project plan. Then the next thing, you define the context of the organization and the scope of the management system, of the integrated management system. You define the organization and its context. Then you put together a scope of the integrated management system. What are the boundaries? How many locations do we have in the country? How many of them do we want to include in this management system? Where does it cover? Which of the requirements is relevant to what we do? Which ones is not relevant? For example, for a company who is into construction, but does not have an in-house architect, but sublets the architectural work to an architect, an architect, or the client brings the architectural job by themselves. You don't need to include in your scope design and development. You can exclude design and development from your scope. So that's why you must determine the context and the scope of the management system. What is the boundaries? Where does it cover all our branches? Does it cover the locations in our client's facility? Then you identify your interested parties and what is their needs. If you're able to determine this, you are on the journey of enjoying the benefit of management system. If you do it thoroughly, because if you know what your clients are looking for, what your subcontractors are looking for, you'll be able to you won't have any challenge. You establish the policies. Number 6, you address risk and opportunity. This is one area that is so beautiful in all the standards. Because if I know what can go wrong, why will I allow it to happen? Why should I allow it to hinder the delivery of products and services? Why should I allow it give us a bad name? Why should I allow it destroy our equipment? If I know that an equipment will need servicing by this time, I put together a beautiful plan on how to deal with it. If I know that an incompetent staff will be a challenge, I put something together to prevent an incompetent staff from being a challenge. I train the incompetent staff. You identify and evaluate the environmental aspects. What are the environmental aspects that is relevant to us? Waste food, used oil, ink, name it, use of energy. You look at how it is relevant to you, you evaluate it, then you put a control in place. Then you talk about compliance obligation. What are the compliance obligations that we have that we must meet, both from our clients, from regulators? Name it. You define and set your objectives. Smart objectives. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Then put together your personal planning and controls. How you will achieve everything you want to achieve. Put together your processes. Nobody says your process must be written as a procedure. You can put it together as a flow chart. You do this first, you do this next. If you have this challenge, you go back like this. You do this like this, you go back like this. You can put it together as a diagram. Whichever is easier for you, whichever will make your processes work better, put them together. So plan your process, your operations, and control them. Then the next thing, you talk about your supplier management. Your supplier, your external providers. How am I going to manage them? Then you document your processes, you control them, you provide the resources where it is needed, and you put together the necessary competence. How are we going to control our documents when they are obsolete? How do we dispose them? Do we give them and say, hey, I'm the HSC man. All these documents are expired. What do we do? Oh, let me go and do the butter. I'll go and use you to say to hey, Suya man. Hey, Nkechi, Suya, I need to eat Suya now. I don't have money. Oh yeah, go and carry all those books I brought, all those things I brought from the office. Go and give it to that Suya man by the road. Tell him to give me Suya. And you now use your company vital information to give us to my butter, and your competitor who has been looking to know how you guys got to where you are, go to buy suya that day, and he now sees your company vital information. Resources, both human, infrastructure, name it, equipment, provide all these resources needed. Determine the competence of everybody that is now that will be in that organization. What is their minimum educational qualification? What should be their experience? What should be the minimum training to be in that position? You determine all of them. Even those who are not yet there, that are going to come in the future, determine all of them beforehand. Then you monitor and measure. Monitor and measure what you are doing. Then you carry out internal audits and management review. Then you are set for certification. If you want to get certification, you are set. So you can do a pre-certification audit using the requirement of the standards to check what you have in place before you now ask the certification bodies to come. I think I've taken enough time for today. Yep. I would love to stop here. So I'm sure I've been able to show us a few things that makes the integrated management system unique. At this junction, if you have any question, you are free to ask. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I think that is close to 1 hour, 30 minutes. That was really, really insightful, well explored. And I believe that all we that are here have gained a whole lot from what has been discussed today. ISO management system is a complete subject matter of its own. It's a complete course on its own. And it has been able to focus within the scope of the topic and also go extra mile to explain to us the various management system, the various requirements that can be integrated together, their benefits, and how you can go about the process of implementing an integrated management system. Not only integrated, even for individual management system, how to go about it. Thank you so much, our boss, our leader. Thank you for that very educating moment. Please, if you have your question, please kindly type your question in the chat room. The time is past already. This is already dark. It's already dark over here. It's a few minutes to 7. You have a question here, sir. Someone says, in the IMS, I saw risk and opportunities. What are the opportunities that could be integrated or that can be included? Over to you, sir.
Come again with that question.
That he said in the IMS, normally in the ISO standard, that there are risks and opportunities. He now asks that, what are the opportunities?
Opportunities are numerous. There's no opportunities that I can just say it is this. Opportunities are subject to your own system. For example, from a risk, you can find opportunity. Yes, for example, we say an incompetent staff is a risk. From that risk, there's an opportunity to train that staff and make that staff competent. Oh, this equipment is obsolete. If it is obsolete, if it gets to this time, it is to be obsolete. So we will need to get a new equipment. You now have an opportunity to get a new equipment. You have opportunity to upgrade to the new technology. So there is no one laid down this thing as written by the standard. No, your risk and opportunity is dependent on what you have determined as an organization to be your risk. Then the opportunities that you have found, you ensure that you use the opportunity to improve your system. So it is a requirement of the standard that you determine risk to your system, then determine the opportunities that are in your system.
All right, sir.
Somebody is asking a question. He says, does it mean the organization wouldn't be needing different policies if the organization has an IMS? This is also subject to the organization. I know that some IOCs, I'm sorry to say, some of their auditors and some of their men that come for inspection are not too knowledgeable in these things. So sometimes when they come, they insist that you show them policy for quality, policy for environment, policy for 45,001. If you are able to put your policy, all of them together in one policy statement, nobody should be asking you for different policies. So what it means is that you can integrate your policy as one. For example, 9001 says you should talk about continuous improvement. The same thing you will find in 40,001. The same thing you will find in 45,001. So in the policies also you have general requirements. So those general requirements, you put it in the specifics. You put the specifics. In one policy statement, what would then be the need to have separate ones? But some clients will still say we want separate ones because of the regulators. Any other question?
Okay. I think there is no other question for now. And in addition, okay, there's even no need for addition. Once my Oga has spoken, I don't think there's any need for any addition. Any other question, please? All right, in the absence of no question, thank you everyone for your time.
Before you end, Waliu.
Okay, sir.
If you don't mind, can I use your platform to invite as many of us
Sure, definitely.
That would really want to improve in this in the management system?
Definitely, you can go ahead, sir.
You can please become a member of Quality and Management System Auditors Institute. Members have their own special benefits. I can tell you for free, the Institute has been able to give auditors in Nigeria that opportunity they've never found to be management system auditors, not just internal auditors, certification auditors. I can't count how many have given opportunity to join me for audits. There is a whole lot of benefits, and the most important of them all is that we should join hands to grow our own and to join hands to improve every organization that is in Nigeria. By the grace of God, we will share with you some of the things we'll be doing next year. we have decided that we are going to help hundreds of companies to understand ISO management system and be able to implement it in their small companies, the SMEs. What makes the other countries better than us is because some of them are able to just implement. Forget about certification. Just implement. Just know how to have processes in place. Just know how to be able to evaluate what you are doing. So we are calling on us, please join us to see how we can move this profession and be able to help organizations in Nigeria. All of us, management system professionals, auditors, quality professionals, if your organization is not benefiting, if your organization is not doing well, it means that you are not doing well. Yes, I know that we have some very stubborn organizations. You must be able to devise a means to provide value. Thank you very much. As we look forward to seeing you and having you join us. God bless you. If you want to...
All right, thank you very much, sir.
We have a platform for auditors in Nigeria. If you wish to be a member of part of that platform, you can send me a message, or you can send Waliu a message that you want to join that WhatsApp platform.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So, all right, anyone that wants to join can please chat me up. Yeah, it's QMSAI, not EMSAI. There are various grades for joining the QMSAI. We have the associate auditor member, the auditor member, the student auditor members, and there are a lot of benefits. And the beautiful thing is principal auditor, chartered auditor, and fellow, and it's subjected to you meeting with the requirements, and it's not that expensive. And one thing about QMSAI, like we have said, every institution that you see, maybe the likes that we see that comes to our country, to our continent, I love speaking in the aspect of the continent, Africa, that comes to our continent to give us certificates. If you look at them, they started from somewhere, not from heaven. And there are people in their country, they were able to support them, their government, and even the individuals before they could become what they are today. So yeah, in as much as we are talking about producing our own goods, it's not only about goods alone, also about services, ensuring that we have our own base, educational, academic knowledge. If people from Unilag, from LASU, they could be going outside the country and they are doing wonderfully well. It also means that our professional institutions too can also have that base here in Africa, where we can also extend our expertise across the world. So we are not saying that we should ignore the likes of IACA, the likes of this foreign institute, IOSH, no. But as we are supporting them, you should also put the same strength or even more strength on also building your own base, because that is where we are and that is what belongs to us. So the QMSAI Institute is open for membership. If you want to become a member, let us grow it together so that it will become a point of contact to the world at large. Every other one has their own country and their own continent, and this is proudly from Africa, and it meets up with the requirement of the world. So that is for QMSAI. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Also, we are having ISO for 2001. Just this past week, we had our integrated management system lead auditor course. We had it at Codal Safety Consult. We are accredited training provider with QMSAI. But next week, we'll be having our ISO 45001, ISO 45001. Yes, Ms. Lovely Okoye was one of our students. Thank you so much, ma. Thanks for that feedback. I think Mr. Kashimo too was one of our students. Yes, and I'm very sure that they really, yes, they had the feedback to give by themselves. So we can't speak for them, because they also came around and they tested it and they see the value and the uniqueness of QMSAI. Our course content are much more better. Especially one of our course content that I used to flaunt everywhere. Auditing clause by clause is unique to QMSAI. And it talks about what you practically need to do when it comes to auditing, not just story, and story. Let us tell you practically in each clauses what are those things you look out for. You can only find that with QMSAI. So Corporate Safety Consult is having our next training coming up next week, ISO 45001. That is Occupational Health and Safety Management System. So please, if you're interested, you can chat me up on WhatsApp. If you're interested to join the class, be rest assured of quality training delivery. And as QMSAI has also established, we have opportunities for us to grow our institute ourselves, engage auditors in Africa. Once you are a member, once you've done our course and you're a member, in fact, those are not even that didn't even take our course. We are taking them for auditors. As far as we have the love of the profession at heart, we have people that are not that didn't take any of our course, but we were able to engage them to join us in lead audit. Not to talk of those that are now part of us. We want to build that base in Africa where we can have proficient experts in auditing, and we can be able to build that institute by ourselves, and with our resources. We are very knowledgeable, we are expertise, we have the skill, we have all it takes to deliver us the best. So please, if you are interested in taking our ISO 5001 next week, you can chat me up. Okay, I'm going to drop my number now. And outside that, setting the pace 2.0. Setting the pace 2.0 is coming up in January again. We did it this past January this year, 1.0, and it was wow. It was wonderful. The feedback, I still go once in a while when I feel weak and tired and feel demotivated. I just go to my chat. I go to the screen messages, I check the feedback that we got from setting the pace 1.0, and I'm always glad that we took that step. I'm always glad that we took that step to have 1.0. 2.0 is coming up again in January 13th. We have our location, LCCI, Lagos. Registration is ongoing. If you want to register, this time is as low as possible. Even with the current increase in price and everything, we have it at 5,000 naira to join the event. You have loads of speakers, load of events, we have load of activities that's going to take place on this very day. So do well to be part of us, do well to engage, do well to set the pace for 2024. We have a whole lot for you, and if by next week we'll be giving us the list of speakers that we have for this 2.0. 1.0, yes, online registration, sir. The registration is online. You can also invite your colleagues, and also you can also inform your organization. Maybe they want to register for 5 of their workers or 4 of their workers or 6 of their workers, 10, as much as you can. Please join us in setting the pace 2.0. I'm very sure those that are attending 1.0 will tell you that they don't want to miss this 2.0. 2.0 is going to be much more better, much more bigger. It's about the profession at large. Not only health and safety, we're talking about health and safety, we're talking about sustainability. We are even adding politics to it, understanding the professionals. There's what we call professionals in politics, understanding that we have a past candidate, one of the governorship candidates in Lagos State that contested for Lagos State governor, who is going to be part of our speakers. So for you to know that is just one of them. We have those in HR. We have one of our top HR personnel, HR expert on LinkedIn, who is also part of our speakers. And the likes of Engineer Jami is also going to speak, and so many others. We have 6 top speakers. We are even going extra mile to talk about talking about the legal aspect of health and safety. We have a very well-pronounced lawyer who is also part of the speakers. So don't miss 2.0. It's going to be wow. It is going to be very extraordinary, and we promise you the best always. If you want to register for 2.0, you can chat me up, and we'll send you the link to start registration. Registration is ongoing now. Thank you so much, and do have a lovely day ahead. You can now unmute yourself and greet, and let's say thank you to Engineer Mr. Cletus Akibe. We can now unmute now. Let's say thank you to our wonderful speaker, who has done wonderfully well. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, sir. We do appreciate you, Mr. Wale.
Thank
you very much. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Now, let's say thank you to our wonderful speaker.
Thank you,
We
Mr.
appreciate
Akibe.
your wealth of knowledge
Good job,
and
well
wealth
done.
of
Thank you.
additional.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
All right. So we are counting down to 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5.
Have a blessed week.
Thank you. And see you all again next week as we have one of our very own from QMSAI, one of our very own from health and safety industry, a woman, a powerful woman this time around who is going to educate us next week. See you all again and God bless you. Bye-bye.
And you too. Bye.